Okay, we are live. Yay. I'm Sue Greenwald here with Awakened Stories, and I'm here today with the real slash original JFK Jr., John Jr. How are you, John?
I am doing great, and I appreciate you so much, Sue, for taking the time out to do this. With all my heart, thank you. I want to thank all the Lions making posts and getting me up on YouTube. To my 1,000 followers, I'm a handful away from 1,000, so I can start going live on there. But yeah, thank you so much, Sue.
Well, I love doing these, and I'm very, very interested in getting the truth out. So for those that haven't received it yet, please purchase this book, Stolen Identity. Okay, and this tells John's story. We're going to assume that you've read the book and or seen our previous videos, because that's where a lot of the stories that we talk about are from. Stolen Identity, unveiling the real John Kennedy Jr. All right, so this is available on Amazon. You can have it within a day or two. Go for it. So I wanted to ask just how you feel, because there are channels out there where they say they're the real John F. Kennedy Jr. How does that make you feel when you see that?
Makes me sick to my stomach. People are making fake accounts of my account all the time. There's a new one that just popped up on TikTok.
Yeah.
Um, that is spun from, I believe, the Trump organization. I really do. And Donald Trump Jr. And I really can't figure them out. I don't even know if I want to try, but they're all, that was their plan, was to say John Jr., John was coming back to save the world. And I'm the one exposing him that he was a gangster. He was a member of organized crime. It was the takeover of the Kennedy family by organized crime, the Mafia, the Communist Party, working together. And I was sitting at dinner last night thinking about how huge it is, the criminals. I mean, it's big. We got a job ahead of us. But yeah, John, the man that stole my identity at 10 years old, was a downright murderer. He was a criminal. I believe he killed the fake Jackie Kennedy. That's why the mafia had him killed in that plane crash. He was killed. He ain't coming back to save the world. But they're all putting this spin on it for some reason. But even if he did, my story's going to take off, and I know he's dead. But what they're trying to do, really, murder is murder. I blocked a gal last night, and she was saying, "Yeah, my mom was really a guy, and your dad is still alive, and John Jr. is still alive." And I was like, block. But why they're throwing that out there? But the main thing is, why are people really believing it? If you do a little research, you can tell. I made a video. Matter of fact, I don't know where it is. Oh, right here. I call the followers lions that follow me and share my stories and that are awake. But a gal named Candy, I believe, sent me this magazine. It is on the store shelves now. I believe it's on your grocery store. You can go to your grocery store, and I know I've sent emails to people the magazine years ago. I've sent hundreds and hundreds of emails to these people all over, from all the media. But yeah, check out the photos in this magazine at your grocery store. You know how grocery stores are. You can pick up a magazine and look at the pictures. You don't have to buy it if you don't have the money. But this is me. This is me right here. And the real Jackie before they killed my mom. And they killed my mom. United States government agencies, you know, uh, people working in those agencies murdered my mom and replaced my mom with identity theft to steal money and power. It's huge. But look at that photo of me as a
Yeah.
kid. That one right there.
You can tell because it's
Then
like
look
your
at that
eyes are a
man.
little tilted or whatever. You can tell it's you.
And then look at that man. As a child, the earlobes all hang down like they do with mine now. Those earlobes on that man are connected to his jawline. He has no earlobes. His hair is jet black. I mean, if you can't tell that by looking at those two photos that I was replaced as a child, you're never going to wake up. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. But these people that are awake, and it's like, wow, they're getting hit in the head with a brick because this story is so huge. But it's not just my story. It's the whole United States government, from Donald Trump to Biden. They're all wearing masks. They're all Hollywood actors. We're all being deceived. It really concerns me for the big picture of why this has all been done. But with my situation, I'm familiar with all avenues of organized crime, the satanic rituals. Been there, done it, seen it, and it's all about the bloodlines. It's all about their family. So they place their family in. They don't have a problem with murdering children, and they do it to put their family in so their family can live a life of riches. And that's what was done. It's being done to this very day. There's no justice being done. My sister Caroline is a fake. She's living on stolen identity. Stolen identity is taking over the United States. It's freaking huge. People need to wake up. I'm putting my life on the line. My balls are out there on the table. Me sharing this story, and it's really stressful. I went out to dinner and met someone last night, and it's like, why am I doing this? I don't ever do this. When I would tell somebody I was going to the grocery store, I wouldn't go to the grocery store. I was just telling them that because I don't make plans. I don't like telling people where I'm going to be, when I'm going to be there. That's how I have survived my entire life. If I check into a motel, I'm checking into the underpass under the bush with my sleeping bag. But yeah, the story has to get out. People have to wake up, and I appreciate everybody's help. I appreciate you. I appreciate the Lions that are helping me because I can't do it alone. And point blank, the United States government has been taken over by these people. And we're in for a rude awakening when their plan really hits. What's their plan? I don't know. They didn't advertise their plan to me, but they have a plan. These secret societies, organizations have a plan. We're already slaves to the United States government, but they're running it's so huge. It freaks me out how big and organized these people are. But we're David, they're Goliath, and we're getting it out there any which way we can.
Right. Well, it is apparent to me that there's an agenda there. So they've got a Donald Trump and they're promoting the John Jr. for VP. Everyone's for it. Everyone's following them. They're sucking that up and they're not really looking at a bigger picture that there is more going on here than they know. And we've talked about this before. Every time we talk about Trump, we get a lot of haters. But I'm going to just say it. I don't think Trump is who we think he is. All right. Everyone
100%.
a savior. I don't think he's what we think he is here.
The
Yeah,
American people and people around the world have been brainwashed. They've been programmed to believe, what the media puts out there.
exactly.
Donald Trump has it right. The fake Donald Trump has it right. Our media is a criminal organization. They are corrupt. The only thing is, he's with the same crime ring. He's spouting that out there, but they're putting him on the news every single day. It's brainwashing. The Democratic Party, the Republican Party, it's all run by organized crime. I can't stress it. Organized crime is huge, but our government will tell you there's no such thing as organized crime. That's why
Yeah.
there's 1.5 million people in our prisons in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really controlled opposition. So he'll say, like, I don't know what the percentage is, 80% truth. Everyone loves that when he does maybe 20% nefarious, behind the scenes, selfish, self-serving agenda stuff that we don't really know about. Okay. So, and why would he use your name? Okay. He's putting someone else in place to take your identity again, or that's probably the plan. So everyone flocks to vote the way they want them to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
This Q movement, and this Gen X movement. I'm on TikTok and I scroll and everything's Gen X. I hope if you're a Gen X follower, because by what I see, they don't have a plan. It's all, yeah, we're going to take our government back. We were born in this age of, blah. Well, I got a plan. So I hope you add John Kennedy Jr. in the plan, because my plan is going to Washington and telling everybody to leave, telling them they're all criminals. So I hope all these Gen Xers and Q movement and everybody else joins me with my plan. I got a warning on TikTok. I got a strike yesterday on TikTok. My comment was to one of these Gen Xers, I am going to Arlington, Virginia. I'm not talking. I'm going for action. And the time is now, or whatever I said in the post. I got a strike for that on TikTok for saying I'm going to Arlington, Virginia. And
Really?
I made a post of, I screenshotted it, the warning and the strike against me on TikTok for saying I'm going to Arlington, Virginia, to take our country back. Um, I don't get how bad we are being suppressed, but I'm doing it. I am doing it. I'm trusting in God. I know our government's corrupt. What they've done to me, I'm the best example of how corrupt our government is. I'm the son of our assassinated president. They did not stop killing. They killed the rest of my family, my mother's side of the family, my father's side of the family. They used identity theft to do it, strong arm tactics, um, organized crime tactics to the utmost to take over our country. And people use me as an example, get it out there. It would be so much appreciated, because I'm a great example. Justice for me and the murders of my loved one, to get justice for that. It's justice for you, because you're putting it right in the government's face. Um, how criminal organization that they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got some letters this weekend, Sunday. I put them on the trailer, on the side of our trailer that we got to take to Arlington. It says, "We the people declare the United States government a criminal organization." See, back in the day when the Hells Angels were protecting me, keeping me safe, putting their life on the lines, a few lost their lives protecting me. People like Bill and Hillary Clinton declared the biker organizations, whether it was the Hells Angels, the Outlaws, or whoever it was, criminals, downright criminals. And these people were protecting me with their lives. Um, so I am now declaring our United States government. I mean, there's so many things that they are doing. It's a crime to be homeless. Um, and we could go on and on and on and on about the crimes that are
Right.
being done by our government. But yeah, I hope everybody that runs across me on my journey signs that trailer. Will make it, we'll declare it law. But I want 1 million signatures on my trailer. I don't care if you cover up my stickers or whatever with signatures, but I'm starting it. Me and Robin already signed it. We made a video, but please sign my trailer declaring the United States government a criminal organization. It would be so much appreciated, and it will help free us Americans. It really will.
So you don't, so your plan is to drive around the country, hopefully building support and awareness, and then put your book on your father's grave in Arlington. All right.
They made a photo op of me when I was 3 years old. The Secret Service came in, told me to grab a toy to leave on my father's grave. I grabbed my favorite airplane. It was a little spinny airplane. I wanted to leave my father. I didn't even understand death at that time. I was 3 years old. I was told my father wasn't coming back. I could leave him a present. So I grabbed my toy plane. We went to the graveyard. It was the biggest photo op this world has ever seen, me putting a toy boat. They took away my toy plane and they gave me a PT 109 because my father was a war hero. I don't know the whole story if he was or not, but everything's a photo op with our government. So they took away my toy plane. I never saw my toy plane again, but they gave me a little toy boat. And I keep thinking about that photo op. Well, I want to change history 60 years later. I want to put my book on my father's grave for the whole world. And I'm hoping I have thousands of people there with their cell phones or videos. And I even hope they bring their books to place with me along by my side on my father's grave. I'd love to see a pile of my books. And then they could be donated to people that can't afford them or whatever. But just for the photo op, and I ain't denying it, I want the biggest photo op this world has ever seen in Arlington, Virginia. And I think it'll wake a lot of people up of what's really, really going on. So yeah, I want to stop in. I want to go across the country, trusting in God and trusting in support. But I want to stop in Dallas, where my father was killed, and then I want to end up in Boston, Massachusetts. I want to go to the JFK Library. I want to hand them people my book and say, "Hey, you're spouting a bunch of lies here. You're making false history. It's time for real history." And then we want to go through Washington down to Arlington, Virginia. And that's my plans. I don't have dates on it. The dates are going to be coming as soon as I know more. And I would love July 4th, though. I really would. Independence Day, and Independence Day to take our country back from our corrupt, evil government. It would be so awesome. But yeah, that's my dream. That's my plan. That's what I'd really like to do. I always think big, you know. And 7 months ago, I was living in poverty. So this is huge. I mean, 7 months ago, I was looking for change on the ground, but now we have a nice little camper to live in. We got a Harley. We just got a Harley, a truck to pull the trailer, a trailer. I'm putting stickers all over the trailer. We the people stickers, JFK stickers. We're making it happen. And if you have a sticker, if you see me along the road on our journey and you have a sticker that supports the armed service or anything, heart disease, breast cancer, my big support is soldier suicide. It is huge in my heart to, even with my heart condition and, but my biggest thing to support is soldier suicide. 22 soldiers are killing themselves every day. I believe that's MK Ultra. That's a program to get rid of our soldiers. It's huge. Um, we should not have one soldier committing suicide, and we have 22 a day, and the numbers are crazy.
Right.
But you're welcome to put your armed forces sticker or your breast cancer sticker or whatever sticker you have on my trailer. It might get signed over because I want 1 million signatures, and then we're going to be signing over signatures over signatures. But like I said, I plan big, but it can happen. It really can. Somebody sent me a letter about a month ago, and they said, "You're crazy, John." But it's the crazy people like you that will make a difference and change this country. And I agree 100%. I'm crazy enough to take on the United States government, but I'm crazy enough to take it back and give it back to we the people. I really am.
Right. Well, most people go with the flow. Like the popular opinion goes this way. They just kind of assume that the crowd knows what's going on. You're swimming upstream, which is not hard. You're trying to get the truth out, but I think that's your mission. You've collected a lot of personal stories of the corruption in our government and the corruption of several key celebrities around the world. And you have personal stories, you're eyewitness. They don't want that information getting out there. So that's why
Oh
even
no.
a minute ago, I couldn't even hear you because there was some noise going on. I, on purpose, I'm quite sure,
Oh,
they don't.
I'm swimming upstream. There's people swimming at me, but there's people on the banks throwing rocks at us. So we don't get upstream. It is, we are being hindered, but we
Right.
are being hindered by criminals that want to take our freedoms away, that are thinking all about themselves. Um, the comment, I'll be sharing the story of my loved ones that are been murdered, and I'm trying to get justice for. And it's actually justice for everybody. But some of the comments I get are totally outrageous. Um, and these people that are hindering us, and even TikTok, Facebook is really bad. But these people that are hindering us from getting my truth out, they're going to be exposed. I mean, there's trails. They're leaving breadcrumbs, and these trails are going to go right to their front door, and they will be dealt with. They really will.
Yeah,
I'm old school. I don't believe in laws and lawyers. You know, I was raised by the Hells Angels, and if you do somebody wrong, you pay the price. Straight
yeah,
up. These lawyers and these criminals that make the laws, all the way to the judges, are criminals. All the way to our Supreme Court. We need to abolish all of it. We really do, and start
right.
over. Our
Yeah,
Supreme Court is a joke. It is being run by our government and the criminals in our government, all the way to murder, strong arm tactics, and the placing of these justices. There is one instance in my book where there was a child killed to strong arm a judge in California. So I know how, I've seen how it's done, and it's not pretty, but we have no justice system. We don't. It's all about money and power, and it's huge. But
they
yeah,
all
I
need,
want to go. I want to go to Washington and tell them all to go fucking home. We don't want them. We don't want to go. You know, good American people know what's right and what's wrong. We have a good sense, and we don't need our government telling us this and telling us that we're too stupid to
right.
figure it out. And that's what they do. They basically say, you know, we need a warning label stuck on this because you're too freaking stupid to figure it out. Um, and that goes all the way to medication and everything. I've been
Right.
dealing with the flu for the past 2 weeks. I was hoping, I was praying it was a 24-hour flu, but I'm still dealing with it. But you go to the pharmacy and you walk down the aisle and you see all this shit right here. $1 billion industry. They don't want
Yeah.
us. They don't want us well, because if we're well, they can't sell us this shit, and it's huge. It's billions of dollars. We need to fix it. I got heart failure, COPD, diabetes, on and on and on, and I take a handful of medication every day. And the bill for my medication, I get a lot of prescriptions for 3 months at a time, but my prescriptions is over $10,000 for 3 months. 3 months of my medication is over 10 grand worth of pills. It's crazy. Um, and most of these things are herbs, all the way to tobacco. Um, places over $10 a pack for cigarettes. It's just grown in your backyard, tobacco, but we're not allowed to grow it. Um, Now pot and everything, you know, it's taxation without representation. I remember when I was a kid buying these, I was real young. 65 cents a pack. Now they're for the same pack of Marlboros, it's over $10. And it's a weed. It is a weed. So where's all this tax money going to? Big business, big government. And it's taxation without representation. We need to put a stop to so many things. I could go on and on and on and on and on, but the main thing is they need to go. They all need to go freaking home, and we
Agreed.
need to take our country back, straight up.
Agreed. Most of us that are watching this now would agree that the government is corrupt, the laws are corrupt. And of course, we're like everyone's kept in line by their peers or whatever. We've been programmed since early childhood, on all the incorrect facts of history, money, the industrial, everything has been programming for us. So that's why the peer pressure of our group keeps the rest of us in line. So if you have an alternative belief system, everyone will call you crazy and belittle you until you'll march to the step of what they want. And of course, like I said, it's hard to break free. It's hard to get traction out there. So you're doing a great job. You've been relentless. People are believing your story. It's going to get out there. You just have to hang in there and disregard the numbers that you're seeing for your videos, your subscribers. Don't worry about that. Just keep doing your thing. It's going to get out there. And you're out there going to, tell those stories and bring in those key players, bring in the government, expose it all. It's going to be great.
Yeah, they got us in a bubble. These people in the media, they got my story in a bubble. We're getting it out. We're only sharing to a certain circle. Um, I don't see lawyers getting hearing my story or getting involved. I don't see anybody in the military hearing my story or getting
Yeah.
involved. There's so many people that aren't hearing my story that need to hear the truth of what's really going on, and they're not hearing it.
Right.
It's part of being suppressed by our social media, by the regime that's taken over.
Right.
They know what they're doing. They got it all figured out how to suppress somebody from getting their truth out.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm taking it old school, and hopefully you know.
Yeah, yeah. So you have an event planned. You don't actually have the date yet. You don't have the exact route yet, but you're going from your home with the trailer that's got your advertising and your book on it. You're getting signatures. You're gonna put your book on your father's grave. And you want, will you need help planning that? Like, are you in good shape there, or do you need assistance there? Will you
Oh,
need help?
I need all the help in the world. I cannot do it on my by myself. Um, Me and Robin have exhausted all our funds to make this happen. We're relying on God and the followers to make it happen. There's so much I can't discuss just for safety reasons.
Right,
Um, but I'm trusting in God to make it
right,
happen.
right.
Um, Once I find out more, I'm going to set that date in stone and do whatever I can to get there. I've always been one to be on time. I was a truck driver for 25 years, but yeah, once I put that date on there, it's going to happen.
Okay.
I hope I have security and every other thing to make it safe in what our cause is. But yeah, I'm just waiting. Once I find out more, um, just I was figuring out just the fuel to get there and then return home is going to be $2,500 to $3,000 to do what we're doing. And the whole thing was I wanted to plan a motorbike ride. I wanted to ride my motorbike across the country and get support for justice for the murders of my loved ones and every other thing, justice for me and what's been going on. But with my health and every other thing, it won't happen. So we got a trailer. We're gonna, if it's rainy or windy or, my heart just ain't up to it that day, we'll put it in the trailer and drive. But
Right, right.
yeah, we're cheating. We're cheating a little bit with the truck and trailer, but that's just how it is.
Right.
But yeah, I want to ride that Harley right up in Arlington, Virginia, with the book in my hand, and I hope there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people there that support me, that support my cause, that want justice for me in the story, want justice for themselves, and downright declare our United States government criminals and what
Right,
they're doing to us criminals.
right.
And we can do it. We can do it.
So in the description of this video, I'll put a Cash App link for those that are willing to donate and assist with, well, living expenses in general, whatever you want to use it for. It's all going to a worthy cause, which is freedom, freedom and truth for the people, which is what we've been lacking. We don't even know we've been lacking it. And well, we do, but like the people don't even realize that they're not free, which is so shocking. So I wanted to ask, I don't know if you know this, but King Smarty is having an event in June 28th. And would you be willing to come down to Destin if the finances worked
Oh,
out?
I would love to be there in June. I don't know if that would happen.
Yeah,
Um, I do plan on going to go see some dolphins with the king.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's in my plans. I just don't know when I'll be able to get there and all that. But yeah, he invited me down to go jet skiing and check out the dolphins, and I think about that all the time. I'm ready, but
Yeah.
it's I'm thinking about 2,800 miles or so, something like that. So it's a big jump for me to go jet skiing, but I would love to. And in the future, I just don't know when. I
Yeah.
just don't know when.
Well, maybe you could bundle it with that trip, but let's just assume that the funding will come and, I think you'll be made very welcome here in Destin. You will enjoy it. And you're going to see a lot of things that will open your eyes and make you feel so happy and confident with the way things are going to go. So keep that in
Yeah,
your,
I think so too.
yeah. So I know King Smarty had sent you some products a few months ago. Your health wasn't good. And how would you say, I mean, there's no scientific way to prove this, but we've been watching through these videos, your appearance looks so much more robust and healthy than it did several months ago. Would you say that you're feeling better than you did then?
Oh, 100% better. If people go to my TikTok and see a video that's pinned to the top of my page, it's got over 500,000 views,
Yeah,
but I was on my deathbed. I was, you know, um, extremely sick. But yeah, he sent me and Robin a box of things. He sent me, my biggest thing is a necklace for post-traumatic stress disorder, because I have stress every day. Every day I walk outside and wonder if it's my last day. I don't know if people have to live with that, but I do. Every day thinking somebody wants to shut me up from getting this truth out.
right.
But Robin, I love Robin. He sent me a thermos. Robin put stickers all over that thermos, energy stickers. She put them on the refrigerator. She's got them on the headboard of the bed. She put stickers everywhere.
Yeah.
But King Smarty actually sent me some really nice gifts. Actually, Robin, I said,
Yeah.
but cool stuff.
Football.
But actually, I do feel a lot healthier.
Yeah.
Um, just having that necklace on relieves the stress. Just saying, hey, he said it helps. I'm believing it helps, and it helps.
Yeah. Well, we've been watching it seems like your health has greatly improved. And again, just by having these products in your proximity gives you the healing and protective frequencies. And I can see in the background, you have the crystalline chamber on your table. So you are using the product, which is great. A lot of times people don't know they don't understand frequencies. And, again, we're absorbing them. And again, they're raising your vibration, they're helping your health. It's very apparent to me.
Yeah. No, I feel a lot better.
Awesome.
Um,
Yeah.
Robin uses that chamber. She's got my book out, and God bless Robin. She's so awesome. But this is King Smarty sent me this,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Robin puts them on my book all the time.
Yeah.
Um, they're always on my book, and it's like she's all, you got to keep those on your book if you want your book to sell. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
Um, bless your heart. You sent Robin some crystals,
Oh, yeah.
and this is a Willy Wonka everlasting gobstopper. It is. If you Google Willy Wonka gobstopper, that's what that is. But she's always charging crystals, and she gets this. I know for a fact crystals have energy.
Yeah.
I used to use dowsing rods, and I was sitting there dowsing for gold one day. I was really good at it when I was young. I spent a lot of time with the dowsing rods and things. But this old Indian man had a smoky quartz crystal in his hand, and he walked up from behind me, and my rods went and spun around and pointed right at him. And he pulled out of his pocket this smoky quartz crystal, and he held it up and he said, "They have energy." And I was like, "Wow!" Because those rods just jumped out of my hand for him having that crystal in his pocket. But Robin, she puts them
Like
on the
that.
crystalline chamber like that and charges them up. It's cool.
Awesome. Well, not only do they have energy, they have consciousness. So if you are tuned in, you can literally speak with your crystals as you can the pithalum ball you just told me. And you don't physically need to hold them or even own them, but you can work with them. And, as your abilities increase, you'll hear their messages for you. They're usually there to help you. So when I sent you those were picked at random, whatever was on the top of the box. But I'm sure that those specific crystals were supposed to go to you. And by the way, for those watching, I sent these and I had a tracking number. It took 3 extra days for them to get there, okay? And whenever I checked on the website, the whole computer would go blank, multiple days. So they were messing with that order, you know, just crystals.
Well, yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes I don't know if the government's trying to help me or trying to hinder me. But a good example is I was in Pennsylvania, and this was back when the anthrax letters were killing people. People were sending anthrax letters to libraries and our government and all over, but people were actually dying from anthrax that people were sending in the mail. Well, I was in Pennsylvania, and I got one of these anthrax letters. It was in an envelope, and it was spring loaded. So, I was doing a lot of eBay. I was selling trading cards, just making extra money. I think I had 3 jobs. I was a hustler. But I did a lot of eBay. So I got this one envelope from eBay. I thought it was a trading card or something. But I opened that priority mail envelope up, and it was spring loaded with cardboard, and powder went all over my little office that I was in. Um, I told the people that were in the house to leave. I told my girlfriend at the time to call the FBI. It was very important that they knew I had an anthrax letter. I went to the supermarket. I rented a rug doctor. I got gallons and gallons of bleach, shampoo. I bleached the wall. I spent days cleaning that office room, making sure the rest of the house wasn't contaminated. And our FBI never showed up. They
Wow.
never bothered to show the fuck up. So then I had in the bathroom, because penicillin will kill the anthrax virus. So I had just been to the dentist. They gave me a big bottle of penicillin. I didn't eat all the penicillin. I ate all the codeine they gave me though. But I didn't eat the penicillin, so it was in the
Yeah.
medicine chest. So I started popping penicillins while I was cleaning, and I literally took baths in bleach. So if I had any thing on me, it would kill it. Bleach kills it. So I was taking bleach baths, but the FBI never bothered to show up. I went to the doctor and I said, I think I got infected with the anthrax disease or whatever. Um, I've been taking penicillin. The doctor looks at me and says, "You've been taking penicillin? I'm calling the police." I went, "What the fuck?" He said, "You can't just take a prescription out of the medicine chest." I said, "Please call them. Please call the fucking police." I said, "I called the FBI. They never showed up. Call the police. Maybe they'll show the fuck up." He dropped it. But this was a doctor, and that's their thinking. They see me with my tattoos. I wasn't advertising. I was John Kennedy back then. But America is fucking brainwashed. I'm telling the doctor at the hospital where I go to get help, I want help. I got anthrax. And he's saying, "We're calling the police on you." Our system is so broken, it's crazy. But after I told him to call him, please, you know,
Well,
change the whole story.
again, you've gone to the FBI so many times with your stories and never received assistance. They've brushed you off. But this is shocking because at that time, for those that are younger and might not recall this was a big nationwide story. And, certain celebrities, politicians, whatever, would receive these things in the mail, and everyone is afraid to open their mail, their packages, whatever. And of course, we weren't shipping packages like we do now, but everyone was afraid to open their mail. So it was a big deal. So for the FBI not to come, that's a little suspicious. What do you think?
They're not allowed to talk to me. I can get away with crimes that nobody else could. That's what people don't understand. They are not. The FBI is not allowed to talk to me. So if there's a crime done and I'm there, they're not allowed to talk to me. They can't show up. I mean, that gives me a huge advantage to play with the system, but it sucks. I'm all about justice and right and wrong, and our government has become a corrupt agency where they turn their head
Right.
and they turn away from the crimes that are so huge because they're a huge part of the criminal organization. Um, yeah, and that letter I got in that priority mailbox with the anthrax on it, I don't know what it was about, but it said, "This is for my mother, what you did to my mother." I don't know who it was from, but that's the letter. Nobody bothered to investigate it. Nothing. Um, it's real crazy.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. So again, being the president's son, at an early age, you were always exposed and surrounded by Secret Service. You didn't know any better. If they told you to do X, you did X. You did Y, whatever they shuffled you around. Your whole childhood was kind of like that. You were flown here, flown there. You met this one, you did this. So again, you didn't, have the awareness of what was happening until, a later date. Did they give you any training whatsoever on how to protect yourself or what was going on in the Secret Service?
It was constant training all the time
Yeah,
of how to survive. And Wayne even said one time, we'll teach you what you need to learn, not necessarily in school with books and our government's education, but we will teach you what you need to survive. And I've been taught very well. For one instance, this was when I was real young. Um, they put books on a bookshelf. It was a new house. We were always in new houses. Every couple of weeks, it seemed like we'd be in a new house, just kept moving around for safety.
right.
But the whole bookshelf was moved and placed up against the wall in case somebody did a drive-by. It would stop the bullets. When I was on Aristotle's yacht, I was hit out. I was not allowed to put my head above the rail. I could do whatever I wanted on the ship, but I couldn't put my head above the rail during the daytime. But yeah, I was taught so much of many things, many things.
So you developed like we'll call it a sixth sense, a sense for if there was a trouble, you would tune into that. And that's what saved your life so many times because you've talked about how, you'd book a motel room or whatever, but you wouldn't sleep there and somebody would go in and try to attack you or kill you multiple times. So that's helped you. So after, the Secret Service kind of like left you to what, the Quigleys / Wayne's control. You had further training through Wayne and the people that he took you around to see, I assume. You learned quite a bit is what I'm getting at.
Oh, I had so much training, so much, and a lot of it was to be brave, to be tough. Uh, Um, but yeah, so much, and it really pisses me off when people say I have not served in our military. It really it hits me hard because I have had so much training. I've been waterboarded, and that was called training. They would keep you up for days and days. If you fell asleep, they would come up and slap you and tell you to wake the frick up. This just came into my mind, but they would do that. Many crazy things. Even as a child, they would wake me up in the middle of the night, put a rope around my neck, throw it over a tree, and push me off to stump, thinking I was going to die. But yeah, when I was in training for the military, they would slap me and keep me awake for days and days. And then they would tie me with rope to a post out in the middle of a field. And a firing squad would walk up and literally shoot me with blanks. I don't know why it was done, but it was done over and over and over again for me to lose my fear of death. If you're ever tied to a post in the middle of a field and you see a handful of soldiers pointing their weapon at you and then actually firing it, your heart drops. It really does. But things like that were done over and over and over again for training purposes.
Um,
Um, I learned a
I
lot.
don't actually think that's what I was talking about. You just shocked me. So I was really talking more about how to be I guess more proactive. Like in this case, you were trained to lose your fear of death, but was that what it really was, I wonder?
That's what it meant to me.
Wow.
Um, but it was done over and over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. So how about
Um,
military training? I know you have been all over doing, like, we'll call them missions. Did you receive, we'll call them formal training or informal training through the military?
it was about as formal as you could get, being right on the front lines. Um, things that our government covers up that people aren't aware of, what they don't tell people. Um, but yeah, I have seen lots of death. I have seen lots of killing, lots of dead bodies, and my biggest thing was when we tried to save the POWs. That was huge in my heart to this very day because those soldiers were encamped in a prison of hell. And as a child, I was sent along there. I don't know why I was sent there, but I was. I was actually a prisoner of war for a short time because I was young and dumb. And but yeah, I saw the loss of life, covered up by our government. Um, it's huge what I have seen, what I am sharing with the American people, and for what I've done, um, for somebody to say I have not served, you know, is really heartfelt for me because I
Yeah.
have put my life on the line many of times for this country, and with the armed service, um, it was only a short time, but I would be taken for boot camp training. I don't know how many times I had to crawl through the mud with my rifle under barbed wire with live fire shooting over my head where I was so exhausted. But it wasn't just once, it was many, many times. And me doing just being there while an investigation of commanding officers, the death of commanding officers, because it's brutal. Um, you know, in the military, you have ranks and you work your way up the ladder to achieve your rank. And if you got a commanding officer at the top of the ladder and somebody below him kills that commanding officer, they automatically climb that ladder. So there's a lot of that to get to the top of the power of the ladder in our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, all that. There's a ladder. And that's the chain of command to get to the top of that ladder. And everybody wants to be a general. I hear that all the time. I want to be a general in the new army and for our new government. Well, sorry, you got to climb that ladder with experience and get to the top. All that climbing I did, I asked Wayne one time, I've been at the top of the ladder. What do I do now? He says, flip that ladder over and keep climbing. Just flip it over and keep climbing. I have seen generals in our United States military been put under MK Ultra and told what to do. I'm a personal eyewitness to being on a military base. I'm not going to mention that general's name, but he was put under MK Ultra and told orders. This is a general. This affects our country so hugely. But yeah, they were trying to kill me while I was climbing up that ladder, and they were killing others because it's a brutal cycle to run our country. Um, I People don't understand. The United States government is the big fucking prize for Russia, China, all these other countries. The United States is the prize. If they run our country, they got us by the balls. Well, guess what, people? Our country has been taken over by these people that murder at the top and then climb the ladder. I can't stress it enough. I'm explaining it in simple terms um, to these people that don't get it. But the United States government has been taken over. I don't care if it's Donald Trump or Biden or whoever. It has been taken over by these criminals, and we need to tell them all to go home. They have no more power over us. They have already put us in trillions of dollars of debt to these other countries. Uh, it's so worrisome to me. It really is.
Totally. Well, I didn't know what you just talked about, that the military ranks, they're killing each other to gain more seniority. That's mind blowing. But when you think of it, not surprising, because look what they did to your father in broad daylight. Look what they've done out in our public. Look what they've done to the people.
Well,
And
see, I was only 3 when they did that to my father,
yeah,
but I know why they did that, because identity theft was so huge even back then with body doubles and lookalikes and spy versus spy, all these other spies. And even back then, the people that tried to take over the Secret Service that runs our country, how hard they, and them being killed and found out and trying to be in secret and hiding so they aren't killed. It's a vicious cycle. People really need to understand how vicious the cycle is to keep the power of the United States government. But my father was killed in broad daylight, just like my uncle was killed in broad daylight, because if he wasn't, they would have replaced him with a lookalike. I would have had a new daddy, but they knew if they killed him in broad daylight, I couldn't have a new daddy. So that's why that was done. They killed him in broad daylight. He ain't coming back. They can't use him to come back. Um, One major factor why they did that for identity theft. It, I'm sharing it. It's so important what's going on with identity theft. It's taken over our country, and I'm a
right
prime
on.
example of that.
Yeah, right in the public side. Yeah. I mean,
So,
how can you believe the stories that we're told over and over and over? Well, we're brainwashed. So it is time to share these stories with others. Share the book with others. Give the book to people. Go to the library, give the book there, donate a book, suggest that they buy it. We need to
please,
get the
please,
story out.
please,
Yeah,
please. Yeah, it's so huge. I
yeah.
was going to say something and then I forgot. So I guess I'll think about it after a while. But
I kind of interrupted you, but like
oh no,
as you've been talking, my heart rate, like like my stress level is really high. It's very upsetting to hear. So consider the stress you must have gone seeing this all firsthand throughout your life. I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
very stressful.
Shouldn't
Um, I mean, there was times when I was young, I was under so much stress, I was throwing up all the time. I didn't know, and then I think I was poisoned so many times. I was drinking bottles of Maalox every day. But yeah, I was too young to be that sick with all the stress and
yeah.
crazy.
Stress.
God kept me alive. God has kept me alive through so much,
Yeah.
and I hope everybody and your listeners hear what the frick I'm saying and know how important what I'm saying is to them and their family members for the future of this country and around the world. It's huge. We cannot have murderers, criminals, and these secret organizations, these satanic worshipers running our country. It affects us so greatly. They want to take and take and take, and pretty soon I mean, the middle class is gone. I was just thinking earlier, you can't, a dollar won't even buy you anything. Um, but God, it would be nice. I have 40 some odd thousand followers. If everybody sent me a dollar, I would be planning the date on my trip to Arlington this day and set it in stone. But they're ruining our economy. Um, they're all getting rich. It's sad. It's sad.
Yeah. So that's why it's so important to gain momentum, to break through and expose this. One person can't do it. It takes all of us to share things around, keep the momentum going, keep the story going, educate others. Don't force them. dip things out there so that they understand that they're more open and they see it out in what's going on now. And eventually you're gonna break through and you are definitely going to be telling these stories and people will be shocked. Like, I know you've seen so much that we don't even know about, that's not even in your book. It's shocking, shocking
Well,
stuff.
maybe it'll be in book two because there's a lot I don't even want to talk about.
Yeah,
Things that I've seen. I have seen so much. I didn't want to scare everybody away in my first book, but I want to make a second book. But I was asked at dinner last night, if Donald Trump was murdered and replaced, how did his family not notice? Well, I don't have all the answers. All I know is you got to be right up in somebody's face to know they aren't real. I had a fake mother and a real mother. They put her body double in place. It was really hard for me to tell which one was which when I was a kid. But my comment to that was I really don't know, but if you look at all the pictures of me, all the videos of me in the White House up to the age of 10, they are all of me. Straight up. They replaced me at 10. How come the whole world didn't know? The whole world didn't catch it. So that's my answer to why nobody noticed Donald Trump was replaced. I was replaced and nobody caught it. I don't have all the answers, but I know the facts, and the facts are all those photos are of me. Um, Straight up. How come nobody noticed? Well, I'm exposing it now. People don't want to acknowledge it. Some people do, but it's huge what's done right in front of
yeah.
all America, right in
You
front.
can definitely see, now that we're talking about it, you can see that was you as a child, this is you as an adult, same person. You can see it. And again, we can measure the years and do all that other stuff, but you can just see it. But see, back then, people didn't have the internet. They believed what they were told. They never thought there was all this stuff going on. And it's only, I think, because of the internet and social media, people doing these videos and showing, exposing it, we're starting to realize things are not what we've been told. We've been brainwashed
For
from
sure.
very, like everyone's been brainwashed. You know, every industry has been tainted, and we've been brainwashed to believe certain things that are scientific facts or whatever, or the way it works, which is never really in our benefit. It's not for our benefit. So we need, like I said, we need to gain the momentum. You gonna show us a picture perhaps, or?
Yeah, just to put this out there, this right here is in that magazine. This right here was not my mother. If people pay attention and look at this woman, this is not Jackie Kennedy Onassis. This is her replacement. She was lovers with Bill Clinton. This goes all the way to what the top presidents. This is a fake. My mom was killed in 1975. This lady took her place. It's right out there in your face. If you look at that woman's nose, mouth, ears, everything, you have to look close, but they do that right in front of you and they put it in People magazine. This right here was my stepbrother. They're saying that's me. That's not me. But it's done right in front of your face, right on People magazine. And people are buying it. People don't pay attention. Well, I'm bringing it to their attention. This is huge. People
Yeah.
are being murdered. People are being replaced. Millions, if not billions of dollars are being stolen by people like the Clintons and Trump and Biden's. It's a big, huge crime ring. I'm declaring them all criminals, criminal organization. And what I'd really like to do to them, I can't say it. I won't say it, but I might do it.
All right, very exciting, very exciting. So I feel like we're at a good resting spot for today. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
I just want to thank you
Oh,
and all the Lions. There's many people that share my videos that are getting taken down. We are being attacked by these people just for trying to get the truth out to the world. Don't be afraid, share the truth. keep sharing the truth. And with all my heart and soul, I thank you. Join me in the fight. Let's bring it all the way, and let's make America a better place. Um, you know, the children, the missing children, the kidnapped children. Um, there's so many causes that we need to be standing up and fighting for. Um, it's huge. There's not enough stickers to put on my trailer for all these, but
Yeah.
there's so many great causes, and it's up to us, we the people, to make this world a better place. So,
Agreed.
but
Agreed.
thanks again, Sue.
Agreed.
Thank you so
You
very
are
much.
most welcome. I'm glad to do these. And again, for those that could but purchase the book, hand it out, read the book, educate yourself. And if you are willing to donate, I'll have a link below for Cashapp. John would greatly appreciate it. We'll be talking again and telling more stories and talking. So send me your questions and support John any way you can. And John, thank you for being so persistent, brave, hanging in there. It's not easy what you're doing. You're swimming upstream. There's only a few people swimming upstream, and you've got to keep that going. You've got to keep going.
I appreciate it. And Sue, if you could put my PO box on there also.
I'll do that.
I'm trying to plan this ride across the country, and anybody that can support or with their ideas, or even show up in Dallas
Yeah.
with some bottles of lemonade or whatever they can
Yeah.
do to get this truth out would be so appreciated.
Okay.
Let's get it all figured out. Let's do it.
Uh,
Let's free America.
So any help that people can offer, just send me, or send it to John. Send your ideas, send your donations, send your whatever. Any help is appreciated. So thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, John.